Hello everyone, and welcome back to the new video. So yesterday we have done the dice roller app and lemonade app, and if you have any queries or related issues with that, you can say about it. It's already uploaded, and today we are going to do session 4, session 5, and session 6 lab as well as the AADK task. So without wasting any time, let's begin today's video. So first, let us go to the website or the courses. So many people are telling about this showing as 0%. Even when log in the morning, it also showed me as 0%. After some time, when I went to a courses and labs and clicked 2 or 3 times, it got back. So don't worry about that. I think there's a glitch. That's it, and too many users are using at the same time. So, or else it will be revived soon, and don't worry about this percentage. If you do your work, that's is the main point of view here, not the percentage it is showing or not. Okay. So we did 1 to 3 sessions yesterday. We have a dedicated video for that. If you want to know, go and check it there. I will give it's in the playlist of my channel. Okay. So session 4 we're going to do today. Session 4 we have two things. One is the lab session and one is the AADK session, Android app development kickstart session. So in the lab session they are telling us to console build. So console build refers to, I will show you the inspect. If you go to inspect, you can see all the coding part of it. And if you go to the layout section, wait a second. Yeah, console all the errors you can see here. And if you go to the layout section, you will have all the colors used, padding, margin, everything. You will be in the console build. So design a program that looks on a console. So fourth session, I have done already a report. So they are telling to build a console, build a business card program in Kotlin using reusable functions for logo, header, and contact sections. The goal is to understand composable-like structuring in a text-based. To create a simple business card in the console using functions, but logically, what we are actually learning is important. We are learning three things here. One is breaking a UI into smaller parts, keep functions reusable, and structure layout cleaning. Okay. Instead of putting everything in a main function, what we have done is we have used three functions here. One is the render logo, one is the render header, and one is the render contact. So if there is any error in a certain part, it is easy to understand. It is a clean structure and easy to modify as well. So after writing the certain task for the each function, you can just call every function inside the main class or main function and just done with the task. So this is not such a thing to do. It's a small thing to do. Then we have render logo width, which is here in the Android Studio. We will directly use padding, right? So here in the program we cannot use padding. So for padding, what we are doing is width minus text length divided by 2. So it will give a small space and it looks clean uh, for viewing the program. What is a render business card? Okay. The render business card has the logo, has the header, has the contact, where it collects all the small pieces like render logo one function, render header one function, and render contact one function to a single function. So in the main function, you just call one function and it does all the jobs. That's simple. So this was about the lab session. So I will give the every document of 4, 5, 6 in the GitHub link. You can go and see from there. So let's come to the ADK session. ADK session is a session what you will be not practicing in the lab. You will be practice outside the lab, like extra information what you want to give. Okay. This second session focus on applying fundamentals through layout design, reflections, and you will plane and review UI structures, business cards. Okay. So what we are going to do in this ADK sessions, mainly we are going to understand why we need a column, why we need a row, why we need a box, why we need a padding, why we need a alignment, and other things. So log, why we need a column, when to call a column. Column is like when you want something to one beside another. For example, this is the first point and this is the second point and this is the third point. So at that time you have to call column. Row is when you want side beside side. For example, I want a phone icon first, then I want a phone number next. So horizontal alignment you call a row, and padding to look it clean and give a space between them so it is not grouped in a single session. So the main idea of session for ADK task is to structure, the logical part now, but you have to make it clean UI so users can use in an effective way, right? So it is a structure plan. So this was all about the UI. The mainly session 4 is all about the UI things and simple uh, UI things. So let's submit the task here. See, go to upload files and select the file that you want to put it there. So this is the fourth session ADK task. I am putting the ADK task. I will put the lab session after trying some or experimenting some of things. See, after putting, just wait for a 5 seconds because it takes time to render. So just wait, don't click too many times, just wait. It will go to that page. Yeah, it came. Now mark as complete and your file will be uploaded. Don't worry too much about that thing. So from here I will be moving a little fast because will take too much time for explaining each and everything. Then we will go to session 5 now. So session 5 is basically all class related session, or you can say a theoretical session. Okay. So not as the name says, it takes Kotlin fundamentals. So Kotlin need classes, Kotlin need functions, everything, null handling, everything. So lab 5 is a console contact manager. Okay. We have created here data class contract. Let me show you the, yeah, this is the session 5. We have the data class contact, we have list of contacts, and we have filtering logic according to the logic they have asked. So why is a class? Instead of storing random variables, we grouped all contact information into a single module called a class. So class, you can say it's a collection of objects or variables which have same data type, something like that. Okay. So it have a clean structure, and UI has a what? UI shows a data with the same group of elements. Okay. What is a null label values? Some contexts don't have email. Okay. So what we do is we'll add a null. Null is nothing but a question mark. Okay. So what it makes is always handle missing data safely. By adding that, it always handles a missing data safely. Kotlin forces you to think about nulls that prevent crashes. So always what sometime when you are filling a form, okay, what happens is it will show this uh, section is required. So if you don't fill this section, you cannot move forward. So that's what is happening. And we have some higher order functions like a function having some parameters and conditions as well. So reusable logic and clean code. So this is all about session 5, which is all about the class, the functions, the nullable values, everything. Okay. So let us move. the session 5 AADK task. Session 5 explains how state proves real-time UI updates. Students practice capturing user input and reflecting changes instantly. By the end, they understand recomposition to compose managed data. So here what they are doing is they want something that real-time changes. You can say that stateful screen. In Android Studio development, we say stateless screen, which does not change in time, and stateful screen, which changes in time. Okay. So session 5, now we understood the basics. Now let us understand the UI. A state is a data that can change. I just said stateless means it does not change. Stateful means it will change. The username in the text will sometimes change. The counter value will change. For example, yesterday we did a app called Dicer number. So when you click on a button, it changes the dice value. So what does it do? It keeps the value during recomposition without resetting the value. So these things what is does is does not it recompose the value, means it changes the value, it does not resets the value, means it moves from one value to another, but it does not change the same value once again. Okay. Recomposition redraws the UI. So example, if you give the new image, it redraws the UI, and it does not manually refresh. It does not refresh, it changes the UI a little bit. So you can say the session 5 AADK task is nothing about the DICE app that we have done yesterday. That is the main task of this AADK. So let's complete that as well now. So session 5 is done. So let's move on to the session 6. Build a Kotlin program that mimics a rolling pair of dice. Use a random number generation and functions to print. Okay. Here, yesterday we used a image to show the dice roller, but what they are telling is you have to write a program. So no image will be used here, just a programming language will be used here to see a random number generation. So in this session, we are using random numbers, and we are using another logic. If we are using two dice here, so if the dice one number and dice two number is same, you have to print a message that yeah, both the dice have the same number, something like that. So you can see again, I am not putting every function inside a single main function. I am writing a separate function for each what role they have. Okay, then after everything, I'm calling everything in a say one function and putting it a main function, so it will be a easy thing. Okay, so dice roller is a random number generation. Okay, the function is separated, and conditional logic, if die 1 is equal to die 2, if the number of die 1 is equal to die 2, if it happens, you have should have doubled your roll the same number. So it's like that. So roll die, what it generates is it generates a single number at a time. So once you run, it runs one number, and it second time you run, it's the second number. The code learning of this lab is data changes every time with roll. So there is a randomness or a true randomness in the program. So let's move to the ADK 6. Session 6, the session focus on controlling UI through structured data. Students adopt a screen to use interactive navigations and configurations. They gain confidence in creating dynamic multi-element interface with Compose. So session 6 is basically a Lemonade app with what we did. We are not playing with one UI screen now. Whenever we click, the UI screen must change. If you want to know how we did a Lemonade app, we have the video in the playlist. You can go and watch it. So session 6 is basically better control, better reusability, better testing, and remember savables like what when a screen rotates, you should know what is the behind screen, what is the after screen. Okay. So finally, if we see overall, what we have done is session 4 is learning about the layout structure. Session 5 is learning about the data and the state of basis, where it's a stateful or stateless. And session 6 is learning about structured and state management, how you manage one screen to another screen. So this was the session 1 to session 4 to session 6 video. So I will be doing more session videos when we have more session to do as well. So as I said, if you have any queries regarding this task, you can put in the comment section, and I will be doing a dedicated video on that. And all the files that I used here, my reports, everything will be in a GitHub link in the description. So till the next session comes, stay tuned and keep coding. Thank you for watching.